How does it feel to be the new man in town, the man in town?
It feels great. I've got a chance to get to know the coaching staff, get to know the people that work here. Everyone's super nice, Southern hospitality, so it's been good.
Take us back to when you got arrested by the Mavericks last week and they handcuffed you. What was that like?
It was good. It was good. Donnie Nelson's from the state of Iowa, so he had a lot of lively personality, and it was actually Coach Carlisle's idea, so it was a lot of fun.
But you understood why?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, did you actually eat at IHOP?
Yeah, I did. I had an unbelievable cinnamon French toast. It was amazing.
Listen, everybody talks about you in the first 4 years, and you've been fortunate in playing with some outrageously good players.
Yeah.
Stepping out kind of away from that comfort zone, what's that going to be like for you?
I've been lucky, in my first 4 years, to be able to, win a championship and to be able to be coached by Coach Kerr, and now I get a chance to be coached by another coach who's also won a championship. So I'm really looking forward to that, as well as, learning, from great players here. Be able to play with a guy like Dirk Nowitzki, a guy who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt, and reach 30,000 points, and to be able to play with all the other great players here should be a good opportunity for me.
Can you take us through the 4 days, from free agency? Were you ever, when the whole Durant thing started, were you wondering how this was going to play out? And then, just take us through sort of the plan, like your contingencies. Obviously, if he doesn't sign, you're staying. But if he doesn't, how did you decide that ultimately this is where you're going to wind up?
Man, it felt like 2 months as opposed to 4 days. That's for sure. But the Warriors had told me they were going to be active in free agency, very aggressive, and that was pretty much a non-subtle, gesture to me that I should be, looking at other teams. And when I made a list of the teams that I wanted to go to, Dallas was, on the top of that list. And my agent had been talking to them, and they said they were interested. They're going to go after some guys first, and then when it came that they were going to offer me, I was excited. I was going to accept the offer and then see how everything played out. But once Durant decided to go to Golden State, I knew that this was going to be my new home.
Do you have a sense of how you will be used here with the Mavs as opposed to Golden State?
Defensively, I think it'll be a lot of the same things. Guarding, 2s, 3s, 4s, maybe occasionally 5s on a switch or something like that. Offensively, just being more integrated into the offense. Not necessarily as many, catch and shoot corner threes, but, kind of mixing in some different looks.
How will you handle the pressure of having a max contract and being able to step up? Some guys can handle it well, others can't.
Well, the biggest thing I've learned in my 4 years is that everything's all right when you win games. So I think that's the biggest thing that, I'm focused on is, trying to come here and win. This team, even with injuries last year, finished second in the division, made the playoffs, and with this group coming back, hopefully, staying away from the injuries, I think we should have a good shot.
This team hadn't been out of the first round of the playoffs since 2011. What can you add to help make that happen?
Hopefully, just toughness on the perimeter in terms of defense. Rebounding, that's a big thing, and then offensively, just getting out and running. We should be a long athletic team, and we should be able to get them down the floor.
What do you take away from the last 3 games of the Cavaliers series, both with your shot struggles and the whole team not getting it right?
Yeah, it was difficult, especially kind of the last 5 minutes of Game 7, for a team that had no problem scoring the ball for 100 games in a season, to come up short like that was very challenging. But, at the same time, you have to give them credit. They did a good job. We didn't make shots, but we also didn't do a great job of putting ourselves in position to get good looks.
What do you feel you have to either add or improve in your game, especially offensively, to get to what I think certainly what you expect and what the Mavericks expect of you?
The biggest thing that Coach Carlisle and I have been working on the court has just been footwork. Just being more efficient with that. I think looking on tape and as well as doing some drills, that's a big area that I can grow and improve on, and that's what I think is going to help me a lot.
Footwork as it relates to
scoring the basketball. you know, whether it's jab sets, whether it's creating space, whether it's just being more efficient with your movements and not having so much inefficiencies in terms of getting up to your shot or getting, you know, on the move.
You guys have had some battles with Tim Duncan throughout the year. Just your thoughts on his retirement.
He's one of the greatest ever. I think that, you know, we look at not only what his production was on the court, but how he carried himself. I mean, this is a guy that was, you know, by the book, all substance, and, you know, I don't think there will ever be anyone like him.
You went from Steph Curry as a teammate to Seth Curry as a teammate. What's the difference?
I think one's a little taller. Nah, but I mean, obviously, I know Seth, you know, from, you know, the days of, you know, Carolina, Duke, and you know, he actually came to training camp with us one time with Golden State. So it's always good to have a shooter right next to you.
You mentioned Dirk, playing with Dirk briefly earlier. Just talk about how excited you are to play and learn under him for the next couple of years at least.
Oh, it's super exciting. I mean, he's already talked trash about, you know, shooting games post-practice, so, you know, I'm looking forward to that. But just, you know, you look at, you know, his career, you know, how much work he's put in, how much he's had to change his game, the sacrifice he's made, and the fact that he won a championship being that guy. I think, you know, there's so much experience that can be learned from that, and I just wanted to try to, you know, be a sponge.
What was it like when you were going against him? I mean, I'm sure you got switched off on him a time or two.
Still waiting to block that shot. Couldn't quite get to that fadeaway. But, you know, he's just
All
so
right, nobody else has either.
yeah. But, you know, he's just so skilled. You know, when Coach was, you know, talking to me about footwork and that type of stuff, and I thought about the times where I've guarded Dirk, and he's just so efficient, you know, just very clean reads. He's always, you know, able to get to his shot, and, you know, hopefully if I can, you know, start to incorporate some of those things, it'll make me a better player.
What is your schedule from today on?
In a little bit, I'm going to go over to the Memorial, flying back to California, packing some stuff up, and on the 17th, going to Vegas for USA basketball.
Why are you headed over to
I mean, just to, you know, pay respects. I mean, it was obviously a very tragic thing to happen, you know, here in Dallas, and I just want to pay my respects. Prayers, obviously, to all the families that are affected by that, as well as any gun violence in America, and hear the president speak.
How much are you looking forward to Rio?
I'm excited. Just the opportunity, you know, player in the Olympics, you know, to play against, you know, great players every single day and, you know, represent our country. You know, I think it's an amazing honor.
How do you expect that dynamic with Durant being there? And you've been around it before, but how do you expect that now with the situation as it's unfolded?
You know, I don't think that'll be too difficult. I mean, hearing Kyrie constantly in my ear all summer will be long, but I think I'll be all right with the Durant thing.
What does Bogut bring to this team? And I know that you're very good friends with him. What can we expect here in Dallas?
Bogut is a great rim protector. I mean, you know, for us, you know, last year and actually my last 4 years, you know, he's been that guy that, you know, erases a lot of the mistakes. And I think that when you look at, you know, this team last year, you know, interior defensive rebounding, those are big things that I think that, you know, he will be able to bring to this team, and he can help a lot, especially with his passing on offense in terms of keeping the ball moving.
Wes Matthews was brought in last year, you're brought in this year. Have you guys talked at all about kind of being the younger guys to help take this team to the next level?
Yeah, I've been talking to Wes almost every day. You know, I've always loved the way he plays. You know, he's, you know, a tough guy. And we're just excited, you know, just going to, you know, perimeter together. You know, we can do a lot of the same things that we did, you know, at Golden State, just in terms of like switching. And, you know, he's a great player, so I look forward to, you know, battling with him daily and, you know, us making each other better.
How much easier is this transition going to be for you, knowing that you come in here with Andrew Bogut, the guy that used to be your teammate?
It makes it a lot easier, you know, just because, you know, we're very similar. We're very familiar with how we play with each other, so I think that'll help in terms of just getting adjusted. And you know, I think that we're, you know, good pieces to add to this group, you know, that can really help us improve.
So Harrison, when you talk about just improving your efficiency,
Yeah.
you're also probably going to touch the ball a lot more. I mean, you take those things just organically. Do you feel like your game grows because of that, and that people will see, you know, just the raw numbers, and they see, you know, what's that? But if you're with the efficiency that you think you'll have and the touches that you'll have, that those numbers will grow and they'll be bigger numbers and as efficient, if not more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, the biggest thing we talked about was, more touches doesn't necessarily always mean more shots. It's more decisions you have to make. So, just being, aware that, look, just because, you're getting the ball more, that's an opportunity set up for a teammate. That's an opportunity to keep the ball moving. It's an opportunity to, pick your spots. Now it's not going to be the situation where it's, you get the ball and it's usually, end of shot clock, you have a, corner three, or you have a wide open shot, you shoot it. It's going to be, okay, when do I pass versus when do I shoot? When do I try to get to the free throw line versus knowing what's the time in the game to get isolation? Those would be the kind of things that he talked about helping me through, and I'm just excited to be in that position.
What do people not know about your game now that they'll probably be surprised when they see you on an everyday basis?
What do they not know now? Just I think I have a lot of room to grow. I think I'll be able to, with different looks and being in the right situations under a great coach, I think I can just show more of my game.